just priced a bunch of them.
Did you really?
One day.
You know, they break.
Oh, do they?
They break.
Yeah, after a while
Oh, I
they do.
see.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
last a long time,
No.
so you know that, so I constantly kind of like put them on.
Well, restring them.
Huh?
Can't you restring?
No. Yeah, I have time to do that. Wait till I retire, then I'll do that.
I got news for you, I'm retired and I don't have time to do that.
Well, we've got a great gal at
Restringing is not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcia.
My name is Betty.
Oh, and I took feeding at classes up in the mountains when I was up there. I fix my joint when it breaks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And especially rhinestones. Anyway, all that, that's a place to go.
Always changes.
I know so much. I don't like.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go through it. I used to go there a lot. I don't mean anything.
Well, they're remodeling now, so
Oh,
by
are they?
January, that whole outside will be all covered.
Okay.
But if you ever have any donations, Chris,
Yeah, he's a minimalist.
How's my mom think?
it needs to close.
Oh.
Over at
Oh, I
my
see.
cell, over.
Oh, well, I take it to revival.
Yeah, well, try it.
I mean, I can see he's in a conversation.
Oh, I'm fine.
You don't have to bring it back and drop it at the front desk.
No,
There you go, but they'll come and get it. But, all that money goes to meals on
So then,
wheels.
like, my
So
secret.
we are really
Yeah.
having a bang year this year. It's good.
But you know, one thing about him is so,
Is Jesus?
he's like, he has such a heart for that.
And then she,
This is what he's like.
yes, so they're interviewing.
See her as often.
Is John Williams still president of
But
the
she's
board?
up along with
John
the
Williams.
and so forth.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
He used to.
Yeah, you can. Hi, you all.
Have
Have
a
a
seat.
seat.
Just have a seat, they'll call you.
Over there.
Thank you.
Hi, Jen.
I told these guys, the farmers market stuff was selling for $4 a pound. So I'm gonna start selling.
Oh, that's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
There's a pound.
Which is in the paper.
Goodness gracious.
Maybe that'll be like corner job.
Exactly.
Does everybody on the board have their phones turned off? You have yours turned off?
Everybody in the audience that has phones,
Please turn them completely off. It kind of interferes with the speakers and that kind of thing. Thank you.
How about having to close the VillageFest tree?
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that?
And then we're closed for Thanksgiving, so it was really, and we were standing there in the rain last week, but
Yeah, I know.
soaking wet.
Yeah,
There's
that
5 vendors.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Are
it
you
did five.
They came anyway,
Uh-huh.
so they had it?
Well, no, we
Yeah.
wound up posting it.
Oh, okay.
Because it was just not raining either.
Yeah.
I feel bad that poor hamburger guy from 2 weeks ago. He got
Had the time.
2 weeks in a row.
Well, he was gonna start this week, so it was just 1 week. But I told him, I was like, well, I would wait when that's
then
orientation,
Monday.
because they do the orientation the following week. So then I told him, I would just wait if I were you.
okay, we're on the air.
Calling for more rain.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dottie Watson. I'm the chair, and welcome to the VillageFest board meeting, which I call to order on December 11th, 2018 at 3:27. Roll call, please.
Okay, Chair Watson,
Here.
Vice Chair Campbell,
Here.
Board Member Meredith is currently absent, Board Member Ziskin is absent, Board Member Manley,
Here.
Board Member Tina Luis,
Present.
Board Member Montanti.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. All right, the next thing we're going to do is public comments. This is where anybody in the audience can come up and speak of anything regarding VillageFest, good or bad. We hope it's good. And you would have 3 minutes. Is there anybody out there that would like to speak? No? Okay. Board comments? Any board comments? No.
No, no.
Okay. The next is, correspondence.
We have none.
Okay. The next thing is the consent calendar. The following routine matters may be acted upon by one motion. Individual items may be removed from the consent calendar by the members of the VillageFest Board for separate discussion or a vote. Does anybody have anything regarding those two things? No? Okay, then I need a motion, because you can't vote, because you weren't here last week. But that's okay. So somebody give me a motion, please.
Would we accept the consent calendar?
Second?
I second it.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, ayes
Aye.
carried. Great. All right, the next thing is the legislation actions. And before any of you come up, I just want to point out something. When you do come up, we'll give you 5 minutes to present, but if you have any things that you need to put out on the table to show us, I'm going to give you time to do that, because trying to do that and with the microphone and talking is impossible. So anyway, the first person is Old School Lou Candles. Louis? And you are a current vendor.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
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 I am a current vendor, even though it's been rained out
I
and
know.
closed. I haven't got to
It's
actually
not our
do it
fault.
yet. No.
It's Mother Nature.
You're trying to be.
I'm getting there. I've been working on this for a long time now.
Oh, good.
I started this when it was still hot outside. That's why I didn't bring these last time, because, I didn't think about it. I have a few things that go with our shirts that we do and our aprons, and it's hoodies and it's yoga pants. The hoodies are unisex. The logo colors change depending on how crazy I get while I'm doing them. And then the yoga pants, technically could be unisex, but they're generally for women. They're more cut for women than they are for men. They're all the same quality as the shirts were. They're Bella canvas. They're lined. They've got nifty features on them. And the yoga pants are all Bella canvas capri pants.
You want to pass them around and we can, thank you. Oh, they're nice. Does anybody have any questions?
Do you want to see a hoodie? Or you
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, bring it around. We can still talk while we're showing it. Oh, yeah, okay.
Ooh, doesn't feel
So could you just refresh my memory? So you already have some things here. You had some pictures of you actually silk screening
Yes.
these products.
Yes.
Okay.
I added new pictures of me making those as well, along with the original pictures of making the shirts and the aprons.
And you had the candles too.
I have the candles, yes.
Yes.
You'd be amazed at how many people want to buy a shirt that has my face on it. It's like the craziest thing ever. So,
Very nice. Doesn't it feel great?
It's really nice fabric.
thank you.
Yeah, very nice. There you go. Anybody have any questions? No? No question? Okay, so we can move to discussion. Can I have a motion?
I move we accept this vendor.
I second it.
Okay, any discussion? No? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? There you go.
Thank you very much.
So-
Hope
wait,
it's not going to rain this Thursday.
I hope not.
No, it won't.
We'll see you on the street.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, the next one is Patrick and Company, Patrick Smith Entertainment. Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
welcome.
how are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. So, we are an entertainment group. We call ourselves Patrick and Company. I'm Patrick. I'm the vocalist. This is Xavier. He's the drummer, and Jeremy Napier is the guitarist. So, basically, right now, we would just really like to play at VillageFest. We think it would be a great opportunity, for us to get some exposure and make people happy, and maybe in the our later goals are to, you know, obviously create music, maybe make a living off of it. So, would you guys like to hear some of our stuff?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Do you mind if I use the speaker?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So that you guys have better.
How long have you been together, you three?
Just about 4 months, about.
We've been
Yeah.
we've been doing like this acoustic pop cover stuff. That's what we've been working on. But we met in what? I met them. They were 8th graders. I was a sophomore. I was a sophomore in high school.
We all did drumline together in high school. So we all have chemistry together and everything. So
Oh, good.
I believe this one is one of our originals. No, this one's Stitches. I don't know if you guys have heard it. Yeah, please. You've heard it.
That's you singing, Patrick?
You guys want to pass around the video? Yeah.
It's really great for the street, I can tell you that.
Oh, sorry, I was listening.
Excellent, guys. Excellent, excellent.
Okay, so that is very good, and I do want to tell you guys that once a month at the Hood in Palm Desert, CV Weekly puts on a talent show or a competition. You guys should think about applying to that. I'm a judge there, so I know.
You'll get discovered out there. They'll discover you.
There's lots of musicians there.
You guys are great, though.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Really
We want
good.
you here in Palm Springs.
Yeah,
for our
yeah,
Village
yeah.
Fest.
Yeah, definitely.
Anybody have any questions? No? Okay, for discussion, I need a motion.
I make a motion, we accept them to VillageFest.
I'll second.
Okay.
We'll all second
And I don't think we need any discussion, they're
See, now you have
good.
groupies. We're the groupies.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none? Have fun on that street.
Awesome, we will.
Okay,
We will see you on the street, guys.
there you go.
Okay. Looking forward.
They're good. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Next one is Marcus. Okay. Montamp. I'm not even going to try. Arts and crafts. How are you, Marcus?
I'm doing well.
Welcome.
Please, over there. Thank you.
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Should I start speaking or?
Yeah, go ahead.
There was some documents. Okay. Because what I'm presenting to you guys, first of all, it's something that should have been invented and created a long time ago. I just happen to be the person. I'm an artist, and I hold a PhD in mathematics. So I work on 2 realms, and what I've created here, I designed, I drew, and I did everything about it myself. The only thing I don't do is I don't manufacture it myself. It's manufactured in Philadelphia. But it's basically a QR-coded medical ID tag. So as a functional aspect of it, I mean, it's a jewelry, but as a functional aspect of it, you know, when EMT and first responders come to a scene of an accident or incident, they have no medical information. So I've created a Facebook platform that's a medical Facebook. And the only way to review your wall is by scanning that QR code. So when first responders arrive, they scan the QR code and I'll show you a copy of my own mid-wall. I call it mid-wall, just like a Facebook wall, but it's a medical wall. When you scan it, this is, you can scroll down. And basically, whoever scans your tag, the emergency contacts on your mid-wall get a GPS text message indicating that your tag was scanned. That's the functional side of it. It's also, I made sure I think it's fairly beautiful because I designed it. Nevertheless, I've been involved in every aspect of designing everything, including the packaging, the tag, and there's over another 25 other designed wristbands, necklaces, shoe tags for autistic kids, special zipper tags for Alzheimer's patients and all that stuff. And I know the fair is more art-oriented than functional-oriented, but I even sent you guys, I even included my hand drawings of the tag. I started with a plain hand drawing of what I wanted the tag to look like, and then I had different metal workers design different ones, send it to me, and then basically I chose one that's the most functioning aspect of it. So that's the artistic side. Everything in my website, the whole platform, and all the visuals I designed myself. And the most important aspect of this is not just the looks. Over 68% of the time when EMT come to a scene of an accident or incident, they have no medical information on anyone, especially the elderly. And Palm Springs is a very highly concentrated of elderly and senior living housing. So I think the fair would be a really good place for me to present this product and allow people to utilize it, especially because I priced it at a very, very low cost range of $67 for 1 year of service, including the tag. So I really think that people would, possibly we could save lives if we allow people to, buy this product at the fair. And at the same time, the artistic aspect, all of it is mine. So I designed it. I designed the new ones that we're coming out with, and pretty much every aspect. I mean, I have designers, but usually I force them to take my design, their own designs. But nevertheless, it's a team effort. I can't do all this alone, but I would like to be present at the fair, and I will be there myself to answer any questions because this kind of technology comes with a cornucopia of questions, and I'm going to be there with 2 team members to answer any questions, help people register, and get set up. Especially, I'm counting on a lot of elderly people showing up and buying the tag because at other fairs and events in Palm Springs, mainly the elderly have been the people that have been really interested, or people with special need children or children with allergies and various different situations where EMT need to know about this when they get to the scene of an accident. So that would be it.
So can you take us through the process?
Absolutely.
What would a person do?
What do you mean, in what aspect?
If you have a booth out there, what does a person do? Do you plug in the information right then and there?
No,
or?
basically, yeah. Well, if they want, basically what you do is you set up a profile on my website, just like, when you set up and I relate it to Facebook because pretty much everyone uses Facebook. You set up a profile, and basically there's 2 more clicks than Facebook that you can set up a profile. Once you have a profile, there's 5 different tabs. One of them is add tag. So if you look on that tag that I gave you guys, on the back there's a 6-digit number. So that 6-digit number is what you input and activate in your profile in my website. So no one can see your mid-wall except whoever has that QR code to scan. And basically, your information is only available if you have assigned a 6-digit tag number to your profile, which comes in, wristband, necklace, other varieties.
Would an EMT be able to access it?
Absolutely. Every phone, I don't know if you guys
Not
You can
my
just
phone.
turn on your phone camera and wave it to the QR code, and I'll pick up the information and show you what I'm showing you on my phone. So basically, as of 2019, all platforms, anything that has a camera will scan a QR code. That's January 1st, 2019. Right now, all Apple, Android phones scan it if you turn on the camera.
So my next question would be, do people have to give you permission for their medical access because of the HIPAA?
No, well, I worked in the IV infusion pharmaceutical industry for about 12, 15 years. And myself and doctors and nurses and pharmacy doctors, nobody liked HIPAA because it was mainly the laws and the regulations of HIPAA were really stringent because of mainly the HIV epidemic. But afterwards, no one went back and kind of eased them down. So doctors and a lot of medical people don't like working with HIPAA because there's basic critical medical information like your blood type or your allergies that don't require HIPAA regulation. So my website, the first thing I did is I addressed HIPAA, and I made sure that they can't regulate me. So I'm not regulated. And in your midwall, you don't provide any information that's personal or anything. It's just your name and your picture and the year of your birth, not even date of your birth. And then there's different templates I have on my website that what EMT want to know. They don't need to know your whole medical history. They don't need to know everything about you. They just need to know allergy, medications, surgeries, medical conditions, maybe your doctor and your insurance. But nevertheless, it's a system that's completely secure. And the back end of it is with the Armor, a HIPAA-regulated server, which was not required because I'm not HIPAA regulated, but still, even with the minimal information provided, I make sure everyone's information is protected. What you see there when you scan the QR code is an HTML system, so it doesn't even go into your profile to collect the information. What happens is when they scan the QR code, the HTML pops up and collects the information you provided on your profile and presents it in an HTML format, which is off my website. So no one can hack in, no one can go inside and try to see anything else. And basically, I hope that answers your question in that regard. But HIPAA, working in the medical industry for many years, HIPAA has always had these very stringent aspects to it that a lot of people actually lose lives and time because of faxing medical information or transferring medical information.
Hold on a minute, Mark. Let me get some more questions here
Sure.
if we need. Do you have any question?
Not at this time.
Mark?
I do. Is this something you recommend you wear all the time?
Especially for the elderly, yes. But I have the Boy Scouts that I'm working with. They want to have them wear it for events or outings or camping. And I'm talking to Riverside School District for school outings and school visits. Those are going to come in more temporary wristbands, but you can use it permanently or temporarily.
Okay, anybody else? Okay.
So if somebody had an emergency situation, though, all of the emergency professionals would have to recognize that this was to be used for that. And how many units have you sold of this
So far, about 750. Mm-hmm. And when I designed this, I spent about 6 months with EMT and first responders. Past 65 to 70 years, there's 4 locations that EMT and first responders look for medical information: your wrist, your neck, your wallet, medical ID, and your freezer for the very old system of scroll inside the freezer. So what I've done is I've created a fridge magnet for the freezer, a necklace, wristband, and also front window of your car or your house, which I've also created stickers for that. Any surface more than 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters, I can apply a QR code and have you access your medical information that you choose to provide on my website.
So, I mean, it does sound like there could be, a use for this, but according to the rules and regulations, the most important question that we have to ask is, so you don't actually make it yourself?
I've made samples, but not for mass production. I can't, because those QR codes are sequential, and there's a mathematics behind it that goes with that QR code, and only a machine can do that. I cannot do that.
I understand that.
Yeah.
but just according to the
Yeah.
rules and regulations.
No,
it
I-
doesn't seem that it-
Yeah, she,
Would you be able to attend Village Fest as and not actually sell the units there, but to give out information on it?
I can do that. I mean, I'd like to generate sales, but absolutely, I can be there and let people know how to use it, and I can even give away free tags, and they can go later on and sign up for it. Because the tag is $19, the service is $48 a year. That's $4 a month, less than a week of coffee at Starbucks. So they can take the tag for free as long as they decide to sign up for the service off the fair.
Okay.
And my question would be on the service, who do they report to?
What do
Just
you
you?
mean?
Or do you have
Yeah,
a
well, to my
technical-
website.
But if someone, if you're saying they're paying for a service.
Yes, yes.
That service is, if the EMT goes for that, is that the service that they're paying
It's
for?
the
Does they
annual
register
monitoring
that?
fee. No, it's what every tag you assign to your profile has a certain cost and maintaining profile, because we're basically someone has to observe the website 24 hours a day. You know, we're a critical emergency service. So basically, I designate that cost and I amortize it between customers at $4 a month, and basically $48 a year.
So if someone didn't pay the service, this gets shut off?
No, actually, you pay the service in advance for a year. You pay the $48, and then 2 months before the end of your service, we email you or call you and say, would you like to renew for another year?
Oh.
That's why it's $48. There's no other medical information service in the world that's less than $29 a month,
Okay.
literally.
Anybody else have any questions? No? I guess my concern is the category it's in. Is there,
The cost difference is why people.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's have a motion, then we'll discuss. Can I have a motion?
It's not gonna
To
be a
discuss.
happy one.
Huh?
It's not gonna be a happy one, so
Well,
somebody else can make it.
whatever it is, we'll. No motion.
I would make a motion that we do not accept this vendor under arts and crafts because these pieces are not handmade by the applicant.
Second?
I second that.
Okay, let's have a discussion. Okay.
Yeah,
Is that-
so, I mean, that's all it really is.
Yeah,
It's not that
it's-
it's not a good service.
No.
I don't really know. I don't know about whether these HIPAA requirements have been lessened. I don't know any of that, but really all that matters to me right here today is, does it fit the rules and regulations as set forth by
Yeah.
the city council, and it doesn't.
Not for arts and crafts.
Not for arts and crafts.
So, the next thing is, can this be put into the commercial? And then you can just show your literature,
Yeah,
talk to people,
I have several videos
and
I
not
can just.
sell.
Yeah, I can post tablets and just show videos to
Okay.
people and let them take a
Does
free
anybody else have a
tag.
remark about that?
I don't see how he could survive.
Well, that's,
That's one
That's
thing.
up
The
to the
other
street.
thing is, I think you're really in the wrong place. I think
Well-
you should be with medical
Well,
assistants and hospitals and all kinds of other things. You're wasting your time here, I think. My opinion.
I just thought this is a good avenue to have senior citizens get a bigger, broader perspective. Because I've just launched in January, and I'm talking to Eisenhower, I'm talking to Harley Davidson.
Okay.
And it's limited to.
we don't, no more
Yeah.
discussion.
Could I amend my
Yeah, go ahead.
motion? So I'd like to amend my motion to allow this, this applicant into Village Fest as a commercial vendor, no sales, and that would be the only way I could see that we could do it.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? No. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, we will see you on the street.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, our next one, Mystic Valley CBD, Amy Wixlin. Hi, Amy. Come on down.
Hello, welcome.
I turned in an application last year.
You know what, Amy? Put your products out on here, and then when you do that, then you can talk into the mic. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it.
Oh, you can't hear me in the
No, no, so, yeah, that's it, put them out. Makes it easier for you. Otherwise, you'd have to do everything one-handed.
This, I brought this for you guys to try, to sample.
Okay.
Okay.
Come around
Over
this
here.
way.
You know what, Amy, if you want, you can take the microphone off the stand, and, if you still want to
It's okay.
at least your things
I just want
around.
to look at it.
And if you want to try it, I brought these little.
Yeah, nice, thank you. Yeah.
Okay,
there
so
you go.
this that I'm passing around is the cream. I'll just explain that real quick since you're going to be touching it, okay?
Okay.
And then we'll start at the beginning. But this is cocoa butter, shea butter, hemp safflower, and coconut oil with infused CBD. And vegetable emulsifying wax is in there that we make ourselves out of carrot and cabbage. So no polysorbate, there's no preservatives in there. Distilled water is the base. Anyway, so I am Amy Weekslin, and I started a company here, Mystic Valley CBD, with my boyfriend Eric Crow. We're both from Arvada, Colorado, and we have a hemp farm there in Fort Collins that we started in 2012 under a research grant from CSU, which is Colorado State University. Forget. We were doing all different kinds of hemp growing for fibrous purposes and CBD. So we just happened to kind of hit the jackpot on our CBD plant and come up with one that was really naturally high in CBD, and we don't have to do much tweaking to the plant to keep it there. And harvest it at the right time, and we're golden in our CBD content. We do have the USDA organic certification. We grow all in pots outside, but growing in pots allows us to control what the plant takes up, because you've probably heard this, but hemp is a bioaccumulator, and it pulls contaminants from the soil. So it's really important how you grow it, where you plant it. And you can get USDA certification if you've had 8 years, no other agricultural products. You can just plant right in the ground. So our latest venture now is to start a farm here in California. So we have a couple little companies like this, Mystic Valley in Colorado, that we do farmers markets with. And so this is our, now we're hoping to be snowbirds and be here in the winter. So, or maybe all year, I don't know how you guys put up with the summertime.
We're busy in the summer also.
But this is, how come we've expanded to down here. And we have I'm aware of the California law of no edible for any kind of, I believe it says cannabis product. So all of this is topical. This is coconut oil infused CBD. This is just a more powerful blend of the cream that you're trying. This is what the cream is packaged in for sale at the market, these 3 sizes. And then the oil comes in this size and this size. This just is a stronger blend. So let's say for my knee that hurts from skiing my whole life, I use cream. But if my sciatica acts up, I use oil because it's a much stronger milligram.
So hence the movement oil, that's for your joints?
Yep.
Or cream?
And that's low milligrammage though. So if it's really a serious problem, you go to this. And then these are for pets. And what we've been doing with these, since they're not supposed to be edible, is we rub them on tumors, on skin irritations, and it works amazingly. They say that in an oil base, the CBD can actually penetrate some of the keratin of your skin, animals, all mammals, dogs too. So you do get some of the same benefits from topical use that you would from edible. Not as much, not as strong, but we gotta, follow the law, right?
Could you pass around the coconut oil, please?
Sure. And I did want to show you guys this. It came out today about the Farm Bill. The Farm Bill was actually released today at 807 pages. So you can actually read
I did see that. Yeah.
So you can actually read it. That's not the coconut oil. Oh, I will pass it around. So you
Yeah.
can actually read the farm, what's in the Farm Bill, came out today.
But it has
this is the most important thing, the first point. The era of hemp prohibition is over. Hemp is now permanently removed from the Controlled Substances Act. It is forever deemed an agricultural commodity, no longer mistaken as a controlled substance like marijuana. So all they gotta do is sign this now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not debating, but they're not debating over the contents anymore. It's like, okay, we're good with this, just vote and sign. So I did bring that for you guys to look at. It was pretty interesting. That was just today. And then I'll pass the oil around.
I do have a question. On one of these pictures of your product,
Yeah.
it says something about eat, cook.
Well, I don't have, look at these labels. We've changed.
Okay.
Because that was before. That was before they came out. I mean,
Okay.
you know how this industry is, like moving like
So none of
lightning
these labels
speed.
had that written on it?
Right. I did look at all your requirements and the California requirements, which is 26 pages long, California. 26 pages
We know.
of label regulations.
Been there, done
And I believe I've covered everything that they want. And
Okay.
it definitely doesn't say anything about eating it anymore.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
I want to see that.
Oh, yeah, you want to see that? Okay,
That's
let me
just
get that around to you.
Organic coconut, I smell it.
Here you go.
Coconut oil and CBD.
So in your.
That's 1,500 milligrams. That's pretty strong. That's strong enough for seizures and rheumatoid arthritis, and that's a strong blend right there. Amazing for sciatica if you put that on there. You have no more sciatica.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
true.
Were you asking me a question?
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry.
So, in your pictures here, you have a lot of people making your products.
Oh.
Not you. Are you the crafter of
Yes,
this product?
most definitely. I am the crafter. But how I have this farm set up, and I want to do that here too, is we have a volunteer system. So we have the top 4 of us that own it, and then everybody else that comes to work there is a volunteer. They work for the medicine. They work for CBD. And so I always have helpers in the kitchen, and we use a certified organic kitchen to make it. And so, yeah, there is other people involved following my recipe I developed.
Is your
for the
kitchen
oil.
down here?
It's in Colorado. I
So
don't
you
have
ship
a
it?
I don't have a certified kitchen. Yes.
So you ship
Yet.
it here?
I've been driving it here. But we now, according to the new Farm Bill, it can be shipped across all borders, no matter what that state's rules are. It's allowed for interstate commerce by the Farm Bills because they made it agricultural. So it's grouped under that now instead of a drug.
I did also want to ask you, because I just saw, so on the label here, you have the California Department of Public Health. They allow you to put
They
their stamp
they
on
require
it?
you to put that on there. I think because what they want to do is they want to be the ones who regulate it. And so if they come to your stand, do they come around? Who comes around? The health department or them?
Health department.
That was one of the things on that 26 pages of regs.
Well, the health department generally, they come around for anything that's going to be eaten.
I've had that
That's why.
in Colorado too, but I don't know. It was on the regulations that I read to have that on there. I think they're going to be the regulating agency of
Okay.
CBD.
So then, sorry, then I'm
That's
not sure
okay.
that I understand still. So you have permission from them to have that on your label. The California Department of Public Health has authorized you to put their government seal on your product.
Yes.
Okay.
And you have
I
a stamp
haven't
with
heard of
that?
before.
Do you have a stamp from them?
That
or
says
anything?
to do it?
Yeah.
No. But I'll contact them and see what I can get.
I think you need something in writing to cover yourself.
Yeah, to give to
Okay.
staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Coconut oil did they get?
Did you
We
see
already
that?
passed it this way.
And how many times do you harvest?
Yeah.
How many times do you
Just
harvest?
once a year in Colorado, that's all we can do. So that's why we're really excited about California. Because it's better climate, right?
Anybody else have any questions?
we didn't see pet treats or pet tinctures?
We're not doing treats
Okay.
because it's edible.
Yeah,
Okay.
So this is the pet tincture.
so the treats are all.
This is safflower oil and CBD. It's low dosage for their weight. It's, we put 1 milligram per 10 pounds on there. Because of that absorption through the skin, we want to be careful and we don't want them to bathe the dog in it, right? Because, we don't know how much they would absorb, so.
Yeah,
So I just.
they can't tell you.
Right.
So this report is from 2017 for the testing?
I have new ones.
Okay.
We get them all the time. I don't think I brought it with me, but I can email it to you guys. Oh, I actually tried to print it out, but my printer didn't work the color. No, that's Mary Jane's. But I have new ones I can send you guys.
That would
If
be
any
sent-
of that is outdated, I have new stuff. Some of that was left over from my application last year. Then, wasn't really, the interstate commerce thing wasn't okay, so
And you
I
had
decided
mentioned
not
Mary.
to do it, but
You had
now.
mentioned Mary Jane. Are you working with Mary Jane products?
No, I actually purchased one of their products and had it tested. And it tested at 0 CBD.
So
Anybody?
before the hemp bill actually passes, though, can you bring it over state lines?
Now that has been out of committee and released as a bill, it is implied consent. That's
It
what
has
the
to be
lawyer from,
signed.
yeah, the lawyer from the hemp round table says that it's implied consent, so,
Has to be signed
still signed into law.
Yeah,
and
because,
put into office.
because there is, and you probably know them, the five brothers in your state that,
The Stanleys?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know their website, they do ship
Oh, yeah.
all over.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a website for my Colorado company and I ship.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
This one's for sciatica, right?
Yes.
You have sciatica?
Good, because I was wondering what you were doing.
Oh, yeah. Be
Not
careful.
scratching, that's for sure.
The camera is on you. All right, okay, pass this back. If nobody else have any more questions, okay, I want a motion so we can get into discussion. A motion from somebody?
Somebody else. I did not.
Oh, okay. How about over here, girls? I need a vote motion. Why is this so difficult? Give a motion.
I move that we accept this vendor as specified without the pet treats that are listed on the application.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion. All right.
Okay, so just based on the rules and regulations and not based on what the product is at all, I am envisioning if somebody came before us that had any kind of a lotion or anything like that, but in fact it's being made by a company and not by the individual. And that appears to be what we're seeing in this case. So just based on if it was just any product at all. And so I just want to put that out there for that discussion because I don't want to focus on what the individual components are, which might be a whole other thing, but that would just be my first thing that I would want to ask
So what you're
you
saying,
about.
because it's a company, we can't do it?
Well, I'm
not
saying
an art
is in
and
the
craft.
pictures, there's a whole team of people in a,
Arts and
you know,
crafts.
sort of in a factory-ish place producing the products.
It's
So
not-
if it was,
Sorry.
if it was candles being made that way, or if it was
Jewelry.
anything, right, if you were, somebody, they designed, because maybe, you may very well have formulated it, or it's similar to the gentleman that was just here too, that we had to turn down because, as far as being in arts and crafts, because he didn't actually make them himself. To me, that is the same thing.
I do have pictures of me in that kitchen if you need it, but
but I definitely do have, several people helping me when I do it.
So, that's all.
We're back to this again. huh?
No, we're not, though, because it doesn't have to do with the product, and I'm
I
trying
know.
very hard to just let it be based on what our other opinions
I know.
have been on the vendor themselves being the person that is,
Kind of goes back to the problem of being arts and crafts, the CBD oil. That seems to always be the quagmire.
I couldn't care less whether it's CBD or not. This could be eucalyptus lotion right here, and it would be the same thing. And I think that for myself, certainly, I'm going to keep those things very separate.
I feel like after a few years, the first couple years I did it, it was just me. But it's, I started in 2012, it's 6 years into it. I have this model, I have these helpers available to me. I want to take advantage of them.
I understand that.
But it's pretty much an arts and crafts show.
It is, it's still my.
No,
gig.
I mean.
Oh, there's downtown.
It's still
Right.
downtown, is still
Yeah.
people making their own crafts.
Yep. I feel like this is my craft, but.
It has nothing to do to me with
No,
what
no,
the
I
contents
know, I
is.
completely understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to bring to the board's attention a vendor who came before you, who had jewelry, and she had molds of jewelry, and all of her pictures showed other people helping her.
And we okayed
And we
it.
questioned it quite in-depthly, and she said, these are my molds, I created
right.
them, but I need extra help, so I bring these people in, and they help, and we approved it. And there was a lot of discussion because we wanted to decide whether the product was enough of hers or theirs. There was two women, enough of theirs so that the additional help that she needed to be able to continue participating in this event and other art and crafts events, and this board passed it unanimously. So
That's
we
right.
need to decide whether we are going to allow for support for products, or we are not going to allow for support of products. Because I want to make sure that we stay on that same path, whatever that is.
I'm hoping that we can, but can I ask you, because I don't remember what case that was, was it
With
with the
silver,
family?
silver jewelry.
No, it wasn't, it
No.
wasn't family. Yes, it
No.
was silver
I
jewelry.
know who it
and
is.
we asked her
We
to come
reju-
back.
yeah, we
You and spoke
rejuried
with her.
them.
We asked her to come
Yes.
back because we didn't understand how she had the enormous
That's right.
amount of jewelry.
Yeah.
And it was because she created the molds.
Yep.
And she had people come in and help her. She hired help to come
And
in.
everybody
to make the
but three
jewelry.
people
Was
voted
she
for
not
them.
recalled, though, back to us?
Yes.
Because there
That's
was a
what I'm
problem
saying.
with
Yeah, she
it?
came back.
And then we
And then we
voted
Because
her
it
in.
was manufactured?
No.
No.
She's on the street with her enormous amount of
Yeah.
jewelry from her molds.
There was only 3 people that voted against it. 2 of them are not here anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was unanimous, but I could be wrong. But I do remember, I remember very vividly because we brought them
Yeah,
back for
I
that
mean,
very particular reason.
If we're doing it for the one, yeah.
That we didn't understand why someone could make that enormous amount.
Yeah.
She said she hired help.
Was it not
remember
her,
that.
I thought wasn't it not her family?
It's-
It was all
it's-
family members? I remember
No.
something
We do
about
have a
that.
vendor who does jewelry, and it is all of her family.
Yeah.
However, the one that we had come back, she hired in help.
Right. It was
So,
silver jewelry.
I'm okay with whatever path the board wants to take. I just want us to be consistent, whatever that is.
Me too. I
Yeah.
don't recall that exact situation that you're talking about, but everybody
Would,
else does.
would that have to be
I
a
don't know, maybe I
discussion
wasn't here.
we would have?
Well,
amongst
it's not,
ourselves?
it's not necessarily a rule and regulation. It's kind of the board's perception of what they consider 75% handmade and what amount of support an art and craft vendor needs. And that's up to the board's discretion. And it does evolve. I'm not gonna say it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
evolve, but I do, a majority of the board that is sitting here right now saw that vendor.
Yes.
So I want to
Yes.
try and maintain that path
Yeah.
to avoid a vendor coming back and saying we made decisions based on something other than that.
So is that up for further discussion between us all at a meeting, or is that done now?
Oh, no, absolutely. You guys can absolutely continue to have that discussion. That does evolve, absolutely. I just wanted to bring it to attention because it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe we should table this and have the discussion?
That's up to this board.
I would really like to review that other situation because I
Me
I might
too.
have been here, but I feel like I don't recall that discussion.
Me
You-
too,
you were
me
here.
too, as
Did
well.
I
I
vote
think
no?
I've got two people mixed up.
Did I
No,
vote no?
you voted no.
Oh, well, then I feel that way again.
Well, I can
voted
say
no.
that
Sorry.
when we,
Excuse me.
when, oh,
You-
yeah.
Okay.
You voted no, I voted no, and Ron King voted no.
Okay,
Was I here?
good.
You'll remember, you voted yes.
I did.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay,
then.
let's get back to
But
this.
we
Well, then I
can,
still feel the
absolutely.
same.
Yeah,
We
okay,
can-
I
okay.
have to feel weird about it
Yeah,
then.
we can absolutely bring that, you know, it would be on YouTube, right? Our archive of meetings. We could look up the minutes and provide it to the board so you can go back and review that vendor. But it was a fairly similar circumstance in
Yeah.
terms of how the product is
And it
created.
wasn't that long ago, was
No,
it?
no.
Yeah, I
It was
know
this
that.
past year.
I was just curious about consistency, but apparently I was consistent.
Okay, that's
Even though
good.
I don't remember, I think about it.
I-
And that's all, I just,
Okay.
because that is the way that I feel
Okay.
about consistency.
That's
So-
okay.
I'd like to table this and review that and bring this back again. I think that's only fair.
That's gonna need a motion. You can make that motion.
Okay, I make a motion, we table this for now, review the film of the jewelry, and then make a decision amongst what we have to do for that, because I've got to see more arts and crafts.
So we need to have more discussion on this?
Well, she made a motion, so.
Okay.
It does need a second, and it needs a majority in order to do that, otherwise it fails and another motion needs to be made.
Do I have a second on that? Nobody's,
I'll second that.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll have you
Okay.
back.
So what we'll do is we'll provide the board with this information, and then we'll reschedule you for the next board meeting.
In January.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I also ask, though, if we could get clarification on the California Department of
Yeah,
Public Health?
that was the other thing.
On your actual label, because that I'm just not, I never saw it before.
Okay.
Stirring away.
There are those. I mean,
Yeah.
There probably are.
I don't know why that looks industrial, it's Teensey's Kitchen. Maybe that's why it looks like
Well, you
so
took
many
great
of us.
pictures.
Yeah,
That
you
might
took
be
some
what
good
it is. You
pictures.
took such good pictures that you
Yeah.
look like big time, so.
Oh, that's ours.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Those look good.
So are you going back to the snow for the holidays?
Yeah, yeah, we have some, we're doing some batches. We're doing some batches of oil in there for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, do we have
Have a good afternoon.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thanks so much, Amy.
Thank you.
unfinished business, none. New business, none. Reports and requests, public, anybody? No? Hi, Daryl. Board?
I do.
Okay, go girl.
There must be, I know that it is not Jasmine's call, but there must be a better way to call off VillageFest than doing it 30 minutes before the event. It is not fair to the vendors.
No, it's not.
not fair to the merchants. It's not fair to the people walking around downtown. We had a very bad weather request, and I know nobody wants to call it off in case it doesn't get
Right.
bad, but it wasn't fair. I mean, they were towing cars off the street.
I know.
And I don't know what happened with that. Hopefully, the people were not charged. I would like for them to have not been. But, yeah, it was, there has to be a better way. Now, I don't know who put the curse on VillageFest that every Thursday the weather stinks the way that it does, but I would ask that they remove it. But, I mean, I know we have a
It's
lot
the
of...
people praying for rain.
Yeah, there you go. So there has to be a better way, and I just really, really request that somehow that the discussion is had with whoever the powers may be on this, just to be fair to everybody, because those vendors, they're still paying.
I know. I was
Sure.
thinking of the food vendors in particular, which is really because they've got
So
the
much
meat and
work.
stuff, and yeah.
When
'Cause-
I used to have a booth way back in the day, you know, I'd still want to go out too, though, because I was like, I paid for this thing, I'm going to go out, but all my labels would get all ruined.
Yeah.
And I mean, so you can't really do it, but I just think that there has to be a more expedient way. And a lot of people said a lot of really mean things to me on Facebook when I put out the announcement. I mean, I don't know who makes that call, but it wasn't me. I was just letting people know about it.
And we appreciate the fact that you helped get the word out very
Thanks.
much.
I know, I even got phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Did
you
Palm
would-
Springs.
People would not show up to a street
Well-
fair with food and everything else.
You
if
might
it's
be
a
surprised.
consistent rain
That's
all
what
day
my
long.
husband
Yeah.
said,
Rain.
like, right, that just people should have known.
They were
but-
hoping it would stop, that's why.
Everyone's local either.
No,
Well,
that's-
so they're driving from far,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get here, and that's what they get, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have, but I mean, before the city calls it, they, you know, they should give some amount of notice.
Like
Well-
noon or something.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
So Jasmine,
But
I
it's
don't,
not
I don't know who
Yeah,
you go
I mean,
to
there's-
find
there's-
this out.
There's so many
Factors.
yes, and so many different perspectives of how that should work. I won't get into it because we don't want to be here all day, but
Right.
I will tell you that Faith and I have discussed that we need to find a better system. We for many years had a very clean protocol. We show up. We don't cancel Village Fest until it starts. So, and that has worked very well for as long as I've been here.
Yeah, the last
until the
4.5
last few
years,
weeks.
this is only, this is the first time it really happened.
Well,
like
back to
this.
back
Yeah.
is extremely difficult, and we had Thanksgiving off the week prior. So
Right.
basically, we've been off for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I will.
And it's hard on the vendors because they're here for Christmas shopping.
Well, I mean, it's hard on a lot of different people.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
mean,
people.
even the city staff
Yeah.
that goes
Yeah,
and
that's right.
does all the prepping
Wow.
from 6 a.m. to start preparing for shutting down
Yeah,
the street.
street people.
So I am going to take this back to the special events planning team to see if we can come up with a recommendation, and then we will send it forward to the assistant city manager's office to, if he can give us a stamp of approval of a protocol that will go into place. We do have a emergency notification that's set up for our vendors where we can send them a text message. It's just that we rarely close it before Village Fest starts.
It's
So
true.
it's not very helpful unless we know that basically the streets are flooded.
Yes.
And although it rained all day, it drizzled. It didn't necessarily start raining until about 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
And then it started pouring.
Yeah.
And our streets were flooded, and we
Yeah.
can't have electrical running through the
Right.
gutters
Yeah.
with the streets flooded. Now, can we participate if it's a little drizzly? Probably. You know, we kind of hope that maybe it'll stop within the first hour or so of Village Fest.
Which is
But
kind of typical of Palm
Right,
Springs
right.
rain.
But yes, based on the fact that we had 2 back-to-back
Yeah.
call-offs of the event, we do need to come up with a more efficient protocol of notifying the public and the vendors when that does happen. So we will bring that back to you at
Oh,
a future
great.
board
Thank
meeting.
That'll be good, thank you. Thank you, Joy, for that.
Sure.
Anybody else have anything? No? Subcommittee report, compliance, well, that hasn't been able to be done, has
We were
it?
gonna go.
And then it got called off.
I know.
I know, right?
See the rain?
Well, guys, there's this Thursday coming up.
Yeah, well.
Yes, we're not supposed to get rain.
No rain.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 weeks ago when I talked to Jasmine, she said, "Oh dear God, please tell me it's pouring."
I did.
About an
it's like,
hour
oh.
after the closure.
Because we were standing out there at, 5 o'clock, that we're shutting down, and
Oh,
it's,
my gosh.
It clears up,
Like-
little blue.
Oh,
Okay, Main Street comments? Joy?
yeah, what's happening at Main Street?
Well, let's see, at Main Street. So, we had Michael Braun at Main Street on Tuesday last week, so he gave some updates on his development there. Tomorrow night, the Virgin Hotel, part of his development is going up for a 3-year extension of the benefits that they are given over there, so we'll see how that goes. Nobody asked me to attend, so I won't. And there's just, it's looking good down there, and everything's getting really full.
It's a good sign.
Very few empty spaces for anybody that's looking for a space.
Oh,
So-
really? Good.
And the rents are going up greatly. Yeah, they're like
Like
averaging
everything
about
else.
Oh, yeah.
$3 a foot right now. I would
Really?
say, and in Uptown, $3.50 a foot.
Oh, my
on
goodness.
vacant buildings. So that's.
Are you grandfathered in?
Well, no, but I have a long lease.
Okay.
I waved at
That's
you
a
at
drag.
the Christmas parade,
Oh,
because I could see you, I was in the hotel.
oh, nice. One of those party animals on the balcony, I guess.
On the sixth floor.
Yeah, up on the sixth floor.
Which, by the way, thank you to staff for doing
Yeah.
such an amazing job
Oh,
on
yeah.
a gigantic parade.
That-
and
It was.
It's always fun. I love it.
2.5 hours, you guys.
I
I
know.
know, it really was too long. I agree.
It was
And
fun, though.
We did have some concerns that we didn't know how the city was going to be able to react quickly enough to get the scooters off the street
Oh,
when we were
yes.
expecting 100,000
Yeah, I saw that.
pedestrians on the sidewalk. So that was a problem, and of course, that became a lot of discussion on that, and just the way, where, I don't know. I think that Lime contacted the city the next, afterwards, to go about it in a more professional way. But, that was kind of crazy down there. And really, people were not riding them with any sort of safety or anything. It was like
Dangerous.
free-for-all
It's
down
dangerous,
there.
yeah, it's very dangerous, yeah.
Scary.
Exactly.
Well,
I mean,
that's
it was
good.
very weird.
They'll get to,
down at Mission Inn last week, and I saw them all over, and they just leave them.
That's
They're
right.
just all over the place.
That's their business plan.
that's what they do, yeah.
They were
Some,
all over, they were like.
some places do that with bicycles, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Well, they'll get it
they
straightened out.
even, they even put them in front of like the bike rental stores, and
Yeah.
they, when they first put them out, not just to
No.
leave them after they were
Mm-hmm.
done, but that's where the people left them against storefronts. It was just very disrespectful, and honestly, we have a great city here with people that have a lot of respect for each other and compassion and
Yes.
kindness, and
Yeah.
we're not used to somebody just coming in and
I
dropping
know.
200 scooters in downtown and uptown, so that was a shock.
Oh, that's
But
good.
I hope that they're able to work out something with a scooter company that would be something that would be safe.
More
and-
organized, yeah.
Yeah,
That would be a good thing if they can get it controlled.
yeah,
We'll see.
yeah, there's
we'll
no
see.
control.
Okay, staff report.
So just a couple things. We received a request from Five Star Adventures to do a book signing on February the 14th. So we are going to have Allison Argrim from Little House on the Prairie, who wrote a book. So she's going to come out and do a book signing. It'll be located right next to the VillageFest booth for a couple hours during VillageFest, and that is on February the 14th.
Valentine's Day, okay, all right. All right.
And then just wanted to make sure everybody knows, but we will not hold our next board meeting, which is on the 25th. So we
Gee,
will
why
reconvene
not?
on, I mean, we can come and hang out, do a little gift exchange.
Turkey dinner or something.
We will follow up for our next meeting on January the 8th,
Okay.
all right? Into the new year.
Well, that's good. Anyway, before we adjourn, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Same.
Okay, do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Okay, we are adjourned at 4:26.